Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. We're back. We're going to play some little bit extra. We're going to hopefully build a cliff face today. I actually am not too worried about the cliff portion. It's the top of where the cliff and the ground meets. I don't know how I want to do that quite yet. I don't know if I want the rocks to bubble up almost over the surface, or if I want it to just it's sitting on top of each other with maybe a little bit of overhang. That's probably what I'm leaning more towards right now, because I think that would look a little bit better, is to have that a little bit overhanging. Alright, I'm picturing it in my mind. That's what we're going to do. But yeah, also, if you notice, we're only about 2 days away from being in day 1000 in this world, which is pretty exciting if you ask me. But yeah, I just plan to make this cliff face, and that's pretty much it. Fix up the terraining around that area, maybe decorate it as well, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. And get all that kind of stuff done and dusted, and then who knows, maybe we'll do some designing of the cathedral again, because I remember that project, and that might come up next episode. No guarantees, no promises, because that cathedral is being a pain to me. Yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pray to get started. Dear, thank you for today. Thank you for letting me be able to stream. Just pray that everything goes well and smoothly, and that would glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so what do I mean by texturing? I mean this. Look at that. Rolling hills, but it looks nice. Somewhat nice. So you just kind of put grass, the new bushes, and then flower patches all over with the, I can zoom in this. I remember when that wasn't really possible. So there are these guys right here. Wildflowers mixed with the azure bluettes. Or I think it's just azure blue because it's French. And then oxydaisies and some dandelions to make it look nice. That's not where we want to work today. We want to work on that side. First, we need to get some things, a little bit of a secret up there, what we built for this next episode. Pop this guy down. And primarily going to need stone for this project. Yeah. Gonna need a lot of stone because we're gonna be building up there. Who knows? We may even need to go to our quarry to get more, but I doubt that. We have a lot of stone. That's why we built bulk storage, because we had too much stone. But hopefully we can get all that done and dusted. 4 shulker boxes of stone should be a decent starting point. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll worry about the dirt later. Actually, food supply is getting low. Very low, actually. I only have a little bit left, but that's fine. Alright. And it is nighttime. Sleep. Alright, so. And we'll figure out exactly what we want to do for this projecto. You noticed, for YouTube at least, created a thumbnail for the video, for the live stream. We actually have something special. So we're gonna fly and plop down right over here. What are we going to do exactly? First of all, actually that'll be second, because I think I want to get this done, this upper section done, and then I want to expand this out. I kind of just built a circle and didn't look really good, so we're gonna have this expand more out this way, following suit here, and then kind of dropping into probably this corner here, wrapping around, making that look a little bit more natural. Basically do the same thing where it just kind of wraps down, actually to where I'm standing probably. Have that wrap around and down into this section here. Just make it look a little bit nicer. Carry that through. I actually think I want to leave this protrusion here. So maybe start from here, kind of bring it out, and then have this following. And then down here is where we want to have the raining. Is where we actually want to have the cliff face go. Though I do think I actually want to probably have the cliff start a little bit more down here. Maybe right there. Well, actually, let's start planning out. Let's start placing a guideline of where we want this cliff face to start. So I'm thinking yeah, do a little bit of this action here. Yeah, I think this will be good. It's kind of pulling that out, and then we'll pull the dirt and everything to it. And I may even fix this up a little bit, because obviously I made this with the intention of going all the way down. But if we do that, we'll be able to pull things out a little bit more, make it look a little bit nicer and neater, so it doesn't look so, you know what I mean? So we'll get that all sorted, but I think that'll be good. And then we'll have this go backwards a little bit, and then pop back out, so that way in the middle will be concave a little bit. And so I like that plan. And then we'll fix other portions here where it meets the ground. We just kind of want to get, think of this more as shaping. So I will say, over here things get kind of interesting, because it is going to slope into this a little bit, so that way it has like a slope that goes up, and then you get sheer cliff face. We're going to figure out where that part is. Maybe. I don't know. That's always the fear with like these kind of projects for me, is how exactly do you get those where like you have the sheer cliff face. Sure, you can build a sheer cliff face or you can build a hill, but how do you put those side by side and make it look natural? Let's start here. Let's start going up. Create a couple of guidelines to kind of help guide the project. What Y level can we go to? Y level 100. Yeah, let's say Y level 100. And we're at 97. We're right about that. And not all of these have to necessarily follow suit. Right. Creeper right there. That's actually... slightly problematic. We're gonna fix that. Let's do some lighting while I think. Because obviously, I need to figure out exactly how I'm gonna go about this. I will say, because we're in 1.25 now, some things are a little bit different with views. So, like, I don't have fresh animations anymore. I mean, I will get it back, I hope, but I currently don't have it because it went weird. And I did have to fix a data pack because that wasn't going weird. Well, we'll not worry about that side. So that is now fixed. For whatever reason, so you know Vanilla Tweaks, right? There's the crafting data pack that you can do that kind of helps with crafting recipes and stuff. I have the one that basically gives you more of everything. So like you get more stairs, more bark, trapdoors, etc. You get more of these blocks when crafting. So instead of getting 2 trapdoors, you get 12, which is very nice. I like it a lot. With that, though, for whatever reason, it glitched out the systems, and they begun, it just wouldn't let me craft those items anymore. I could not craft log blocks, I could not craft trapdoors, stairs, any of that, and I was like, what is going on? Turns out it's because when I updated and just moved all the data over, those, like, the data packs didn't transfer quite properly, which I didn't realize was going to happen. So I redid it from Vanilla Tweaks, which it's now, like, Vanilla Tweaks is updated for this, so thankfully that's now fixed. I don't have to worry about it as much anymore, but still, was that a struggle bus? Well, it wasn't actually that hard. Just had to re-download. So some of my data packs might be a little busted. Hopefully not. Some of these on the outside of the clip face. But yeah, just like figure I'd put that out there as a fair warning. Okay. I don't know if I like this particularly. Goes back 3, out 1, but at the same time, I kind of like that. We'll have to see, because then there's going to be a little bit of overhang, which will then put it back over the cliff face. But also, I can have it go in and out randomly. So I'm thinking, let me put another one kind of in the central of this. And let's have this one actually go more in. We'll have it. Okay. We're basically going to create these spires that are going to go up, and then we'll connect them all together to hopefully create a cohesive thing. Because the less ground you have to cover in between each one allows you to, when you're building that section, to fine-tune it a little bit better. So, like, I'm thinking we have 2 in here. I'm going to put 1 in the middle, and then I might put 1 on each edge. And then we'll just do all of these to the same height. I think that'll be the easiest to deal with. Especially for here. When it comes to this spot, I'll probably, once we get to there, start causing it to go down a little bit more. So that way when we get the smooth transition, because we're probably going to make it somewhere around these blocks here. So that is something to consider. I do hope I have enough. You know what? We're actually going to go all the way with this one. We're not going to make things interesting. Because now we're getting to where it's starting to curve a little bit more. So Welcome in, Denal. Thank you for the work. Oh, no. Oh, okay. We're good. False alarm. False alarm, everybody. False alarm. Ah, we're golden. I thought Cloudbot was down for a second, and then I had to go and fix it. But we're golden. We're about to actually hit... Oh, this is where things get kind of complicated. Okay, we're going to go on the diagonal here. Worry about those. Let's go up one more. Oh, we'll do a full spire here. All right, guys. I'm gonna record this. We're gonna go to YouTube. All right, we are live streaming. We are building up the cliff face right here, and the reason I am recording is because we are now entering, with this final sleep, we are entering day 1000 of a little bit extra. That's right, guys. It is day 1000. Anyways, I have a cliff to build, so I'll meet you guys back when that's done. Okay, cool. And then go back to stream. Don't worry, guys. It'll fix itself. Look at that. Call me a prophet. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do it. Nope. Nope. That's heresy. That's heresy. Don't do that. No. Sorry. Actually, I don't know if I talked about this before. I probably have, but we'll say it again for anyone that did not hear it the last time. Prophecy. Fun thing about prophecy, specifically like biblical prophecy here, is that a lot of times with the prophets, it's always like people always see prophecy as like foreseeing the future, when in reality prophecy, at least biblical prophecy, is just going through history and saying, okay, so basically this happened because God said he was going to do that way back when, and you're just breaking a rule that God said he was going to punish you for if you broke it. So it's just kind of funny. Yep. Thanks for thinking of fuck. I actually want to fix this one. Disagree. Biblical prophets receive direct revelations about current and future events. I think there's a bit of both. I will say I think there's a bit of both. But I recently just read through all of the minor prophets and all of the major prophets, because I'm doing a big like revelation study. And the thing I found interesting was that a lot of what the prophets did was like, yes, they would receive the divine, the direct revelation saying, hey, Israel, don't do this thing. What I'm getting at is people will say like, oh, the prophets are saying a flood will come, and then a flood happens. Like, yes, but they're missing that piece where it says right before the flood that God said, if you guys don't do this thing, then I'm going to send the flood. Sorry, I didn't mean to go to Noah. Flood was just the first natural disaster that came to mind. Don't get confused with that biblical overlap. That's not what I'm referencing at all. Let's say earthquake instead of flood. Or exile. Exile is exactly what happens to the prophets. God says you guys are going to be exiled. I need to bring this over. God says you guys are going to be exiled. And then they do the thing that God tells them not to do. And as a result, they get exiled. People typically take out the God saying, and they just say the prophet goes in and says, you guys are going to be exiled. And then they become exiled because the prophet predicted that this was going to happen or foresaw the future. No, God said, if you disobey me, I will exile you. Israel disobeyed, and then therefore God exiled. and then that's just the repeating pattern. But there are times, definitely, where God... Oh, and I think, honestly, that is what's happening, is God saying... you know, it is direct revelation. That's not... I'm not denying that it's not direct revelation. Yeah. Because it's God saying... Because God knows what's going to happen. And God's the one that's saying, okay, guys, this is what's going to happen. I am gonna make sure of that. So now we gotta start thinking. Prophets, man. Crazy guys. This looks like I'm building a giant cage right now. That's a really cool idea, actually, to have this entire cliff face be a giant cage. But that does not fit the theme of what we're building here at all. So, we're not going to do that, despite how cool of an idea it is. As much as on theme as our base is, with having basically no theme, I still want to keep the theme relatively the same. Alright, I think the next couple, like the one, I want to build one right here, will be shorter. Let's go to 97. One more. And then, obviously, between these 2 points, because they're quite far from each other, we'll have it staircasing up. And then this will help kind of drive it into this a little bit better, I think. And then this one will be 94. This will be the last one. Oh, I have to go up to here. Not much I can go up. It already goes up actually a fair bit. So here's what I'm going to do. Tell you what. We're going to take this down, and then we're going to... And then if right about there is when it's going to just match back into what's already here, and we'll have to do a lot of terraforming to make that happen. Honestly, what I'm thinking is right out here. And yeah, do remember we're going to be breaking the top one of these. Because I realized all these are at 100. They all should have been going to 99 because dirt is going to be on top of it. We'll worry about that when we get there. We're just going to build. Start. Okay. That's just as an example of dirt being on top of that. Alright. So now we have the general spaghetti that's going to direct how we build this thing. And then we'll do all the terraforming that goes. You know, I'm not going to lie, I thought this cliff face would be a lot harder, but I feel like we're making pretty good progress. Let's start in the middle, and let's move to the left first. We start right here. We're going to make this flat to start. And then we're going to build and put in front of it more cliff face to kind of flesh it out between rock and grass. But that'll be coming. So I think the best way to do this. Now, I guess we're going back one. Right. Oh, out of stone. Okay. Stone. Right, so for the first test drive, not great, very flat is what I'm noticing to start. Very, very, very flat. Flatter than I would like it. Question mark? I think I know who that is, but I probably don't. Okay, hit it when this happens. Oh, that's why. Welcome. 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 That's what I'm missing. Okay. We're not glitching. All is fine. Okay. Here's what I'm trying to think. This looks very flat right now, and I don't like that. How can I make it less flat? I wonder if I don't have enough space for how big I made each section, that I should have made them smaller. That's why this looks very flat. Hmm. Alright, I'm gonna try something, because I'm gonna do it to the one next. Oh, I said we're gonna do it to this one right here. We're gonna make another line right here. We're gonna make it a lot smaller. We're gonna go back 4. We're gonna make it like that. Okay. Hmm. That doesn't look that good either. Huh. Trying to think. So then I'm sending. Hold up. Never mind. I don't have it anymore. Okay. Alright, I'm getting very hot, so I think I'm gonna get an early Coke. Because I'm starting to get very, very hot. Once we load in. And we'll think. We think. About what we look at here. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. I just want to let y'all know. When I opened that, a spot of that popped out over my keyboard and the board that's over my legs. Because we're back home, so we're in my gaming chair, which requires a board and everything on top of my legs because I sit in like a big couch chair. Right. So I got books, board, keyboard, Stream Deck to the left, mouse on the right. So the board's about the size of the keyboard, honestly. It's about the same in terms of verticality. It popped over, which the mic is on the other side of the board, popped over that board onto my knee. Crazy. Alright. Guys, I need help. Alright. New plan. We're gonna try something else. We're gonna try connecting these two up each other. Oh, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And we'll connect it up like this. I don't have any scaffolding, so we're just gonna pop out one block so I'll know what this is. Let's get on top. what was the purpose of this? We will now connect. The bottom, I'm fine with being flat, because I know I'm going to go through and fix the bottom. The rest of it, not so much. Don't really want it to be flat, because it's essentially meant to be the finished product. Right, so that just gets that. Oh, what? What was that? I hate it when that happens. This is going to be equally as flat as the other ones, unfortunately. Don't think this plan really is going to work the way I'm intending it. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty flat. Alright, well, none of this really looks good. Okay, I'm confused. Well, let's tear it all down. Let's start fresh again. I honestly think my best strategy yet is just going to be to freehand the whole thing. No guidelines, no outlines, no nothing, just freehand it all. Why? Because I don't like outlines to begin with, just as a person. Doesn't matter what it is, I don't like outlines. Because of that, I may be struggling with the outline because I don't like using them, so it's hard for me to stick to it. And really all I need to do is freehand. Or maybe go into a creative copy of the world. Okay. Create a giant platform and use Axiom to figure out this cliff face. That's the strategy. I don't know if Axiom... See, I don't know how to use Axiom well enough to know exactly how to do that. But I would be down for that, but I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to Axiom. I know a little bit here and there for certain things, but it's more of a convenience than a building tool yet, just because I don't really know how to use it. But I guess this could be a good learning experience. Okay. So much for being off to a good start. Cliffs are harder to make than I thought. Who knew? Who knew a mountain could be difficult to make? Ugh. See, my terraforming isn't bad. I can cover up holes pretty well and make it look somewhat natural. What I can't do is make custom terrain, which is where you get the mountains. It goes from terraforming to whole terraining, which is very difficult to do. Because, like, you know what BWO is doing for the Nether Hub? I want to do something similar for the Nether Hub here. It was either that or do that exact same thing, but in the Nether, the issue is dealing with all the ghasts. So basically, I was planning on creating custom biomes on the roof of the Nether, all to our locations, and just doing that. It's a lot of work, I know, but calm the frick down. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Okay. Let's get all of this here. Alright, guys. So, I'm thinking about a new series that I could start making. I got this idea because I saw somebody made a video with this idea. So, I would credit this person. I don't remember the name of the channel. It was a very small channel. But I saw this video that they made, and I was like, this is actually a really interesting idea, and I figured out a way I could capitalize off of it a little bit better than they were doing. Once again, I don't want to steal any content or anything like that, but they had a really good idea. What I would like to do, based on this idea, is create a series called By the Minute. All this guy did is he played Minecraft for a minute a day, and then uploaded it. The problem that he made, the mistake, is he wasn't uploading them as YouTube Shorts, he was just uploading it as a video. What I would do differently, where the capitalization comes in, is I would make it a YouTube Short. It's easy YouTube Short content that's already designed to be a minute long. And then I was thinking, well, he's already doing the vanilla survival experience, but a minute at a time. So I feel like I would definitely be stealing his idea if I did that. But if I did a different game or different version of Minecraft, as in like modded mainly, because that's the only other option, is either vanilla or modded, doing a modded experience. And I was thinking, okay, well, if I did modded, what kind of modded? Thinking maybe a skyblock. Problem, I don't really like skybblocks, I tend to get bored with them. But if I'm doing it at a minute at a time, that would, one, drag it out and be kind of good for it. Either that, or I was thinking maybe even Satisfactory could be kind of interesting. And I think By the Minute could expand more than just, like, Minecraft, per se. But it could be a series that's just, I do something a minute at a time, a minute a day. I just got word of my schedule for work. So I will have to be doing that throughout the days. So I won't have nearly as much time to put into YouTube, and I want to put a lot of effort into videos, and I'm already doing a poor job with the one I'm making now. Because I think, ironically, I just said no outlines. I need to outline the next episode and plan what each step of the episode's going to be, what every single recording should be, and then mix in all the, basically the improv into it later. Because right now what I'm doing is I'm basically hitting record, saying a whole bunch of stuff, and that's why there's a lot of ums and ahs. That's fine a little bit, but it's most of the content I make, and I think it would be I would benefit a lot more if I focused a little bit more on I think I'd do a lot better generally if I just did a little bit more focus on see, this is why we plan it out. If I plan things out a little bit more, I'd be able to maintain a little bit more focus on what I'm actually doing in the episode, and I wouldn't get lost between clips, and it'd be a lot easier to record things out of order, because I wouldn't need them to be in order, because it's already planned what I'm doing from beginning of the episode all the way to my end credit scenes that I like to add. The other thing I'm going to be doing specifically with this episode, and with my last episode, some people might have gotten the wrong idea with it being titled The End, because they might think, oh, the series is ending, it's episode 11. No. It's the end because I'm in the end dimension, but mainly because it's the end of that content style I was doing of just the random cup and go. So this episode was meant to mimic more of like a flip video, where it's basically the I did this in Minecraft kind of thing, where it's not necessarily false, it's clickbait, but it's not false clickbait. Like, I don't want to lie with the clickbait and say, oh, I did this, like a Mr. Beast video where he's like tackling a tiger and almost dead, and it's like, you know, 7 people survive 7 deadly challenges, or whatever he titles his video, right? That's a little bit to like the falsifying of video. I would rather do something I actually am doing. So like for this video, it was supposed to be, or it's going to be, I transformed a mountain in Minecraft, and then I'm going to have like the before and after picture. So I have a before picture, and then I'm going to take a screenshot of, oops, keep that there. I'm going to take a screenshot of the after picture, of at least one of the areas, and that'll be the thumbnail. And then in the video, I have a little bit of a scripted thing. I haven't recorded that part yet, but I have it like written of what I'm going to say and then what I'm going to do for the video. So like I planned that out, and there are other bits that I planned out, but still the content in terms of the actual video itself is very sporadic in terms of how I actually make the content. And I think I could benefit from planning out exactly what I'm going to do in the videos before I actually make the video. And then we're not like squandering around like, oh, what are we going to do for today's episode? It's actually planned a little bit better. So yeah. So the end is also I don't know if euphemism is the right word, but it's a thing that's also representing the end of the content style and the new beginnings of a different style of content making. The thing is, I'm not necessarily stuck on making flip-like videos where it's like I did, or I guess not him, because he's not the only one, it's just I watch him a lot. Speaking of which, I watched him today. But that specific style of like, I did this in Minecraft, and the title being I did this, because that seems to be what people are really interested in seeing. Cheap viewers? My. Oh, wait. Don't worry, it'll come back. I hope. Please? Minecraft? Please? Okay, there we go. It did come back. It did come back. Don't worry, it did come back. Anyways. So, like, doing that. The other thing is, there's another video making style that I really have been enjoying, but that would take twice as much effort, I think, but also be a lot more enjoyable, maybe. The BOO style of making videos where it's almost cinematic in its general making. The thing that I think helps BOO's videos work so well in that cinematic style is because his building is so good, it actually could work in a movie. My building is subpar. I think I'm in the impulse phase of building right now, where like it looks good, but it's not like BOO jaw-dropping kind of like, wow, that's a beautiful looking build. It's a, oh yeah, that looks good. Or the Mumbo fate. Basically, the Redstoner now has gotten pretty good at building, but it's still a Redstoner, so it's not like a builder's level of building, right? The Tango, the Impulse, the Mumbo, that style of building where it's like, it looks good, but you can tell you're not a builder to begin with. That's not your specialty. What is my specialty in Minecraft? I think survival is just the general aspect of living is like what I excel the best at. And parkour. I'm pretty decent at parkour. Those are like my sets that I excel at. My redstone is mid. I know enough of it to make my own farms. Like, I made a bunch of micro farms for today's episode. Not today's episode, for the episode I'm working on right now. Episode 12, I made my own farms, all freehand, and they all work. But they're very clearly freehand. They're not as refined as some other people's redstone creations. I just described my building to y'all, so you already know where that's at in terms of thing. Like, once again, subpar. Dagnabbit. It's not, spectacular. It's not, like, jaw-dropping. But, like, it looks pretty good. Like, for example, this library looks great, but I think it would excel if there were some trees covering it up. Not that I think it's, like, ugly and needs to be covered up, but, like, it's just, there's a lot going on. It's very noisy in its texturing, and that was intentional when designing it. But I think it would be better if you couldn't see it that well. And what I mean by that is I'm going to use film kind of analogies here. CGI. The best CGI characters are the ones you can barely see. The reason why Davy Jones looks so good as a CGI character is because you can barely see him. It's because he's constantly covered in shadows and in darkness, so all you can see are the good parts and not the janky bits that they couldn't quite get right. That's what makes a good CGI horror monster, is the one you can't see because you're always in the dark of night. But you can always figure out what bad CGI is because you can see it in the brights of day. And that's, like, kind of what I think building should be like. You know, these are great builds-ish. They're good-looking builds, but they would really excel kind of being covered up, because they're okay, but they'd look a lot better if you couldn't see them. And you can only see the few parts I'm letting get through, and you can see it through the tree line. I think that would look really cool. Let's see if we can do something with Axiom here. Let's go to LBE, copy 3. Oh. Right there. Yeah, forget the trees. Forget the fucking trees! Okay. Okay, good. This is all the way out here. Alright. So we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do extrude. Don't worry about it. Not quite. Right about there. Alright, we'll just shrink these away, so I don't have to worry about them being in the way. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's... I don't know why I like that better. Okay. So... Don't worry about that. Okay. Sculpt draw? Sculpt draw true allows you to sculpt terrain, pulling blocks. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Maybe a rock will be the best option here. if I did cylinder? Oh, whoa, that. Ugh. Yeah. Let me get out of that. In there. We're freehanding it. That's not. That wasn't really doing me too good. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, Bob. Oh yeah, it's coming together so well right now. Pull it up a little bit. You know what? Let's leave it. Leave it. Every mistake was a planned, purposeful error that ultimately oh, let me swap it a little bit. This is honestly, this is already looking better. Except when that happens. That's not really fun. How many times have I fallen off of a shift where I've just like I don't know. And get things interesting. Oh. Maybe not there, actually. I will work with that. Okay. Did not mean to. Ah. Okay. Let's go. Oh, well, thank you, Twig. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just building a cliff face here. We're freehanding it because nothing else is working too well for us. But the freehand actually coming together quite nicely. Surprisingly, somehow, this is actually coming together nicely. In the best way possible. This is why we freehand things. How's your day going? Get these here. I'm in, like, deep building focus mode, so apologies if I get a little quiet on y'all. The brain be braining right now. We must let it. We must let it think. Alright, we're at 98. We just need one more, and we're doing pretty well. Alright. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Cliff face. That actually doesn't look half bad. Maybe it's coming out a little bit too much. I don't know. But that kind of works. That kind of works, you know what I mean? Doesn't look half bad. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Alright. Okay. Bring it up a little bit. Gotta bring it up a little bit. Gotta elevate it. Give her some more gumption. Yeah, let's bring it over a little bit. Hold up. Hold up. Getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Okay. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. Boom. Chaka-laka. Okay. This is coming together really nicely, I think. I think we're getting progress. I think it shuts out quite a bit, but once again, you think about it, we're going to add more to the bottom here, so I don't think the out is... It doesn't look that unnatural right now. I think it's working quite well. And I can always go through and fix it up a little bit more. No! Place a block. Try that again. Boom. Boom. Ah. I have a lot of stone. You know what movie I watched last night? I watched Inside Out because it's now coming on my head. It's playing in my head. And honestly, it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. It was better than I was expecting it to, you know what I mean? And of course there were all the allegations. All that. But I found none of it actually in the movie, which is really nice. So very it was well put together. I will say. Yeah, I think that's good. So, y'all are ever looking out for a movie, Inside Out's not a half bad. There's something about this that's so unnatural, it looks natural, and I kind of like that. Like, it doesn't look like Minecraft terrain, but it actually looks like something that you could see in the wilderness. Like, just cracks, divots, unnaturalness. And I might go through, make it a little bit better, but, like, having it go like a perfect spiral doesn't really make sense. I think there are times where there is that little bit of perfectness into it, which is, like, God's way of saying, hey, I'm still here. Oh, Inside Out. Number 2. Good movie. Far more entertaining than I was anticipating. You know, it was actually a well-made movie. See, this is all part of Disney's ploy, or at least what I think Disney's ploy is. They make terrible movies while they are making the really good ones. So that way, by the time you start to lose hope in them, and are about to stop watching them because they're not good anymore, they throw out a banger of a show or something. And you're just like, it's always completely out of left field, you know what I mean? You're just not, you don't see it coming at all. Completely, just all out of the blue. And that's how they stay in the game, you know? Ah, that's not what I was trying to go for at all. But no. Totally better than I was expecting it to be. Would recommend watching if ever given the time. Alright, this seems like it's getting out of hand. I don't know. Oh, no, it's gone. You know, at this point, that's like a whole new section. No, let's... When you start placing all the blocks in the wrong spot. Hold. I got to do some surgery. That's good though. No, but this is coming together. Oh no. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Boom. Alright. On to the next section. But I like these divots here, really weird, right? But at the same time, there's something about it that's like, that's kind of natural though. Like these rocks do kind of form this way. Oh. All right. Get a little carried away in some of the parts. No. I'm aware that it is night. Let me sleep. Okay. I keep saying okay like I actually have something to say. I do not. I just say okay because I am ready to move on to the next portion. Because it is coming together really nicely. Like, surprisingly, freehanding is working well for us. Somehow. Okay. Swoop on down. Okay. That doesn't go there. Oh. Now the hard part. Bending the corner. Not the coroner. The corner. Probably the hardest portion of this entire thing. Oh. Oh. Okay, this is taking a turn in a good, like, it's interesting how this is like turning. I'm pretty sure that block right there is not meant. How's it looking? Not bad, not bad. Probably go in there, fix that up a little bit. Honestly, I might just do this. Just to try to wrap it around a little bit better. Okay, you want to know something completely random? Ah! That's not what's completely... I mean, that was kind of random. That's not what I had in mind. For whatever reason, the Plants vs. Zombies theme is, like, playing in my head right now. Oh, that rounds very nicely. Okay, but like, why does it look so much better free-handed than it did plant? I'm just saying, this looks a whole lot better than what I was going with before. I'm just free-handing this. Oh, it's nighttime. Oogie, we sleep. Okay. honestly don't mind being kind of silent. I'm getting a lot of progress done, so I'm happy. Más progress fails. Slowly but surely this is coming together. You just add a little bit of that on there? Well, probably go through. That's not quite it. But nope. Those. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but Nope, that's one far. Want the last bit of stuff, right? Oops, that's too high. Whoops. Actually, that's bad. I said there, but it flowed nicely right. Gosh, it's so annoying when you're trying to build on like an upward surface, but the ground below you is constantly changing. So every time you place a block, you're almost guaranteed to misplace it. Oh, my arms are starting to lose consciousness. Agent! Hold. Very nice. This pops out quite a lot, but I kind of like it. A big dome. Oh. But that's not cute. It's so dark in there that a skeleton just spawned there. And he's dead. Ah, yeah. Huh. It's all touching the sun. Now I just gotta do this side. And then it'll slowly go down as it gets closer to that. Julio Bino, we're almost done here. Quite close. And it's almost been 2 hours. Holy, wow. Try not to change the subject here. Nope. Which is probably still broken, if I had to guess. It's been awfully quiet on the... Ah! It's been awfully quiet on the Twitch side of things. He's been eating crack. Bro, it's so hot in my room that my Coke gets warm very quickly. Honestly, I think this is one of the better ways, is get to a certain spot and then just go straight up. And then put the extra layer on there, and that'll add that depth. Ta-da! I need to go up some stuff. Hold. Oh. good right there. Let's get on to the next section. And then we'll go through and do the bottom. Maybe we'll do a little bit of it now. Ah. Yep. That's rad. Come on. So hard to build up here. Ooh. I wonder how much stone we're losing doing this. Like, just in, like, everything that's fallen, and then everything that we've placed that's, like, behind. I wonder how much that's totaling right now. That's a little far. Up to go. Alright. This cliff face is off to a great start, and then we run out of resources. Off to a great start. Ah! Ugh, it's nighttime. I think that skeleton spawned when it was nighttime, because I realized how often I forget to sleep. That I don't like. That helps fix that a little bit. A little nasty right there. Alright, anyways, back to what we were working. Alright, I think we're just gonna slowly start stair-stepping it down. We are getting to that point in the story. Yeah, let's go by the 30. My hands are sweaty. You didn't need to know that, but now you do. Deal with that information. It is yours to bear. We're doing 2 1. That's fine if it stops going from an overhang, because it's slowly going down. This slope's actually working out pretty well. And there we have it. We have this whole cliff face done. And as close to it as we can, you know what I mean? Honestly, I'm thinking that looks pretty good. We still actually have 2 full boxes of stone left. So, we're gonna put this all into... Don't worry, we're gonna cover a lot of this in grass. Basically putting grass over top of all the stone. That's my plan. Seeds getting stuck in my inventory. Or at least, like, majority. Like, the bottom sections are going to be. Covered in grass. But as mentioned, my left arm is dying on me. That's oak. And not in a good way. Oh, there's pillagers over there. Why? Why are there pillagers over there? What the frick? Get the frick away! Nice. Any hoozles. I think it's time for grass now. And I don't know if I have enough dirt/grass to do this. So that's fun. We might need to go and dig some up. That should be fine. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. That's all the dirt we've got. May not be enough for what I need. That's okay. Boom, boom. We can always get more easily. I think I want to start actually on the bottom rather than this top portion. Kind of meshing this into the ground a little bit better. For example, like this portion here, we use stone. Shouldn't have been stone. Want some of the stone poking through. Ah, no, not rain again. Ugh. This section I want particularly covered in grass. I want it to look... This part I want more to be kind of protruding from the earth sort of vibe compared to, like, the rest of it. About these sections. Oop. Okay. Almost done with that. That's probably good. See, that just feels a lot more a part of the earth. Doesn't it? Okay, I gotta go over here, fix that. A little worrying that these idiots are roaming free. Okay. Same concept over here. I want this section to feel more part of everything. Just because it's better. Almost out of grass. I know I'm wasting grass by doing that. That's okay. Alright. Let's figure out how this is all gonna work. Now the actual, like, terraforming. Nervous. This might be harder than anticipated. And because I have no idea how this is gonna line up. Okay. So the reason we have a lot of overhang here just adds a little bit of variety on it. But we'll go through. We'll probably put some more stone under here and then do like slabs and stairs. Probably. Actually, we'll probably just do a little bit of stone, and that'll help fix it a little bit, I think. Because we don't want it all to be like that. That'll kind of help, I think. And then here, probably just turn it up. We'll figure it out. Alright. Now we just fill in this big giant hole. Fountain got significantly bigger. Don't forget, I also have to do that up there. Don't actually know if I'll have enough time to get to that. This is taking actually a lot longer than I was thinking. Get this portion done. We'll go until we need dinner, but I could also go after dinner, so I may just take a big giant break for food. And then just come back after I'm done. You know how they have like those heating like cup holder thingies that you can put down and keep your coffee hot and all that good jazz? They need to have one of those, but for cold instead. You know what I mean? Right, let me go around this whole place, filling this all in, and then we'll go over top of a lot of this to make this flow a little bit better into this section. Might not have to. What am I gonna put in this giant empty space? I don't know, but there's a lot of things we could put in here. Because we obviously have a lot of trading halls that could go in this space. Because that's what this whole upper section is like all the trading halls. And all that good jazzercise. So, yeah. Probably what I want to put up here, though. I don't know which ones, and I may actually change some of the plans I had originally made for the area and adjust them slightly to compensate for the amount of space we're actually gaining from this area. Mainly because, like, I had a wraparound section. Here I was going to put a trading hall here and here. I might do a trading hall here, do another one going the long way here. Because originally this was just going to, like, fall off the edge. But now we're going to have this giant space here that we could easily put some more, like, we could have it go down and then fix up this section a little bit better to have it wrap around a little bit. Oh, wait. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. We could still do that where it comes down and around, but we'll have to figure that out a little bit better. I know, right? We got a plan. I will say the freehanding of the cliff actually surprisingly turned out a lot better than outlining it. I think for a cliff face it actually works out quite well. And maybe the reason the outlines weren't working is because it was for too small of a cliff. So I was like having these large like rock formations for such a small cliff, and like for me, scale is probably one of the harder things I struggle with when it comes to building. It's like getting that sense of scale to just right, where like your designs are actually adequate for the size of the builds. Because like you look at like Green's a really good builder, and I think he excels best when things are really large, because he can make it look like there's minute details, but really if you get up close, they're huge details that he's adding to these builds of his. Like I'm thinking the mansion, for example, he has a lot of like large detailing added to it, but it works because it's such a large build that it fits in quite nicely. Whereas for me, I struggle with that scaling aspect, so I don't know what the right amount of detailing is. So either I try to go too small and I do these micro detailings for this huge build and doesn't need to, or I do the other way around, where I'm doing these large scale details for such a small build and then it looks disproportionate. It's finding that right balance. Good stuff here. And you gotta kind of figure it out, right? Maybe I'll put a giant lake here and then put a waterfall down the side. I'm not gonna make any adjustments to the, I could texture this. My texturing isn't great. Will I? Don't know. Probably not. Just because, as I said, my texturing is not ideal. And so I don't exactly know what I would do for the texturing, if I'm being honest. That's something to think about, what to actually do for texturing. So honestly, a giant lake wouldn't be the worst idea out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great spot. Just have a big old lake right here. And then have waterfall cascading down here. Literally falling off the cliffs down to here into a little bit that goes right. And then we make our own little river. Flows, cascades into the river, fix up this, make it look a little bit nicer. That could be kind of cool. I will say, though, the cliffs actually do look really cool. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. I mean, they're not like the greatest. They're nowhere near B00 or Flip, but for me personally, I think they came out quite nicely. I would just fill in all the dirt. I will say one problem, though. Obviously, we're just kind of... It's one layer of dirt. So, if I could easily spleef myself. Though it would be accidental, it could happen. But with this being almost done, we're getting quite close to finishing episode 12. We almost got everything. We actually need to record the intro as something to do. Because it's gonna be a big old thing. But we're almost done with the actual recording of today's episode. I don't know, maybe episode 13 I'll do a beat-up style, because I kind of want to try my hand at the cinematic for the building. My heart kind of skipped a beat there. Don't know why, that's not a lethal height, but still. But we are almost out of dirt, so I might need to collect dirt before I can even finish the project. If only I could build... Because you know what would be great for this cliff? The same thing as that. Puts giant trees right in front of the cliff that practically reach to the top part of the cliff. And then you can't even tell that they're there. And then you can't see the cliff at all. And so all you can do is get the rough shape of the cliff, which looks good. But the actual, like, look of the cliff is... But my custom tree game is just as bad as my cliff game. Actually, no, my cliff game is better than my tree game. So, trees are going to be a struggle bus. Waiting for the next... I mean, I don't think it's ending anytime soon, but waiting for Hermitcraft Season 10 to end so I can go in and see some of these crazy things, because, like, Joel's base is just amazing. BWO's base is crazy. I just want to be up close and personal to it to be able to, like, see what's actually going on. And I might nab those trees B-Dubs built because, man, they look so good, and I'm terrible at tree building. Credits will always be given, don't worry. Like that windmill. Did not build that myself, found a tutorial from Fresh Joy. I did adapt it a little bit. I changed out the color palette because it was made pretty long ago. So I changed the, it wasn't tough for the base. Mainly because Tough was new at the time, so I was like, I want to use the new Tough block. But then the direct calcite thing was not a part of this version. Alright, will I have enough dirt to complete this? That is the question. Otherwise, we can actually just go underneath of this place and dig out the dirt that's already there. Instead of flying all the way to the savannah, I don't think that's necessary. And then we need to do the underside of the cliff. I think there are certain areas where you could probably grab some scaffolding and fix them up a little bit, because they're looking a little bit awkward. I think if we can do that and get just some of the awkward bits fixed, it'll look a lot nicer. But the more I notice it, like in BWO and Fwip's like training style, they do leave a lot of those impurities to it. Just because it is kind of natural. I mean, like, look at that. That's Minecraft terraining. That's Minecraft generation right there. Finest and the brightest. Ooh, we're getting close to the wire here. I think I'm going to run out before I actually get everything. It's a little unfortunate. That's okay. Because we're actually way closer to being done than I thought we would get with the amount of dirt that I actually had on. Unless we only had 9 stacks left, so... Yep, that's it. That's it right there. Oh, wait, no, stay. And that is the ultimate benefit to building things like this, because everything underneath of this space, one, it's a giant open space, so I could put something in the cliff face itself. I could put a giant building there if I wanted to. which could be really cool. And boom, shakalaka. So now we need to go to the underside of this and make it look a little bit more natural. So here's what I'm thinking. I could probably bring this like up and over and around. Kind of just do that a couple times. And then fill it in. Buff this out basically a little bit. Look a little bit nicer. But we are going to need a lot more dirt. And I mean a lot more. Right, with all this new terraining, there's no lights over here. That's no good. This space especially needs to be spawn-proof. This is where all my villagers are. So, yeah, we're gonna need a lot more dirt. Honestly, I'll probably just dig underneath of the mountain where we just were, because I think that'll probably yield the best. We do have the savannah that we're using as a quarry for resources, but I think it would benefit us more just go underneath. Plus, like, we're never going to see that area, and if we are, we're going to be building in it. Unless we create a cave, but either way, like we still have to build all of that anyways, so it's not like there's any pressing need to, things. I will say, 100% sure if cliff face would necessarily look like this, and now I'm not actually sure what I want to do with the edge of the cliff face. Because, like, you look at it, and it's like, okay, it just kind of ends, right? The terrain just kind of ends, and it's like, from one angle, it looks pretty good. From the other angle, like, when you're on it, it just looks like it just drops off, and, like, there's nothing there, like, it's platform. And then you actually get to the edge, and then, like, you see it from this angle, it looks pretty good, or good-ish. Because you can see that there's clearly a cliff right there. But yeah. What's out of that? One of the things I'm going to definitely be doing, with my next episode is, well, I wasn't trying to fall down there, I just happened to. Yeah, because if I'm going to be mining over here, I also just don't want to hear the mobs as I'm, like, doing stuff above. Alright, well, that's all of the... Oh, no! I made it out, but at what cost? Alright, well, above ground, we're golden. That didn't go there. Oh, there. Okay. Well, I don't have any lanterns. Big problem. Alright, so we're reaching... Oh, wait, wow, where did that hour go? Alright, well, those are empty. Alright, so... I... Gonna head back. Base camp. Oh, but the area's looking so much better now. Now that's like these holes are gone. Oh, and then I have like holes up here, something like that. Where I have a hole somewhere that, yeah, like up here, these places that like need to be filled in. Oh, yeah, my moss farm's been going this entire time. I need a lot of bone meal for a project over there. It's like these areas right here, just everything. So many holes to fill in. Whoa. Terraforming project for another... That'll be something we just do in the background. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A little bit of spoilers there. How are we doing on bone meal? That's what I've been yielding right now. Alright, we still need a lot more. The farm stays on. I actually don't think leaving the area or anything like that, or doing any of those kind of things breaks this farm. I stand corrected. Leaving the area does, in fact, break the farm. Okay. I think will be an easier... Oh. Ah, yes. I see. No. Wait. Isn't lava supposed to be up here? And then lava go down? That can't be. Oh no. Yeah, so the moss farm is broken. Right. I just need to know where the lava goes. Okay. So the way it worked, this pulled down, this pushes over. I'm pretty sure this here is meant to have lava in it. That doesn't make any sense, though. Because there's a block missing right here. So lava would just pour out. On both sides. So where did the lava go? Oh, and that's where that went. Okay, well, I'll fix that now. We'll fix that later. We'll fix that later. Yep, so don't leave the area with that on, okay? It'll cause problems. It'll cause a lot of problems. These all go into storage, everything else goes here. Into bulk storage, that is. I don't know why I went up this way. I literally have a pathway to this place. Okay. Pop that guy in there. Pop those two in there. Pop that up there. I know they don't have a lot of it, but still technical. None of my other farms should have broken. Yeah, cool. Nothing else should be broken. Because that farm is actively like any farm that you have to turn on. Yeah. But we're fine. I still need to figure out exactly how I'm going to get here. This farm's actually getting to a point where it's getting pretty full, so I may want to expand back here a little bit to just get... I guess I can't really see back there, but... That's a spot that's open. Anyways. I guess since we ran out of dirt, but we did get what we wanted done. We built the cliff. We will continue this project tonight, but not live on stream because I've been live for quite some time, and I think that's a good amount of time. So with that, yeah, wide me. That's gonna do it.